Welcome to Sammy's Yoga Sesh. I'm here with Crystal from Twisted Bliss Holistic Health, and we're gonna do a little toe touching challenge today. Get a little warm up and just try to expand the back of our legs. We're gonna essentially be doing the same exact thing. She's gonna be standing and I'm gonna be sitting. So if you've got you're wheelchair bound, or if you don't have any toes, or whatever the case is, you're just in the office and you're like, I am not trying to stand up and get a full yoga practice in, this is going to be a great one to reference. You can sit in your chair and you can get full body movement. So we're just going to slowly begin warming up, kind of like we always do. We want to connect to our breath and we want to connect into the space that we're in. So just find yourself seated, find yourself standing, find your breath, bring yourself into this space. Thank you for bearing with us as we conquer these technological challenges. But I firmly believe getting up, getting moving is the most important thing we can do for ourselves. So as you find that breath and you find yourself in your space, just think about what you want to do, what you want it to feel like. And remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. So if we're going to start this, go to your edge. Find out where your limit is, and then we have a baseline. And then you know where you need to work from there. So, just like we always do, get a big inhale, bring those arms up. Nice big breath, fill in the belly. Fill in the chest. Bring those hands together, passing through the third eye, passing through heart center. Just exhaling all the way down. Inhale, bring those arms up high to the sky again. Giving thanks for being in this space. Giving thanks to yourself for showing up. Nobody wants to do the hard stuff. Sometimes we just want to do what we do. Well, if you want to do just a little bit more than you've ever done, you got to do things you've never done before. Big breath, arms up. Let that out. All right, as I see myself in a chair, I'm in an office, I'm in my shop, I'm in my living room, I'm just gonna sit tall. I'm gonna find myself where I can maneuver. So if you're sitting in the back of your chair, that's totally fine. My dad was in a wheelchair, guys. This stuff hits home for me. I watched that guy for 38 years. Had a wonderful human named Jeff that came out and stretched my dad 2 or 3 times a week for years and years and years. So I know this stuff works. So if you're in a chair, don't feel like you're limited. Please don't feel like you're limited. But get yourself where you can move, where you can bend, hinge at the hips. And I'm just gonna take both legs out in front of me. Miss Crystal is gonna be doing basically a forward fold. So we take our arms up. We know how to do this. We inhale, and then when we exhale, we're gonna hinge right at the hips, and we're just gonna fall forward. If this is you right here, right now, and you're like, bro, I am done. I don't have any more in me. This is it, breathe. Breathe into your spot. Breathe into your edge. Big full inhale, and on that exhale, just see if you can get 1% more. Bringing it up a little bit on your inhale. Settle back in on your exhale. Just waking the body up, just feeling it. We're not trying to go anywhere. All right, on that inhale, bring yourself up, back to your seating position. I'm gonna draw my right leg back. Maybe I'm gonna open it up a little bit. Well, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna lift the arms up, take a big breath in, and now we're gonna be concentrating on our left leg. Hinge forward at the hips. Feel that in your left leg. Hands on your knees, hands on your quads, hands on your chair if you need to hold on to something. Just feel that hamstring starting to wake up. You might bring yourself up a little bit on your inhale. On that exhale, just find 1% more. If you can't find 1 whole percent, find 1/2%. And just breathe into that spot. Inhale up. We're going to do it one more time coming down. Inhaling back up, starting to feel good. Maybe you bring your legs back, give them a little wiggle. We're just getting woke up. Get that right leg out in front of you. You can shimmy in position where you need to, wherever we're not locked in concrete. I always like to bring that breath with those arms up, so that way when I exhale, I can hinge at the hips and I'm not wanting to cheat and roll my back. We don't want to roll our back. We want to keep that back straight and hinge at the hips. And there again, if your arms are up and you go to lean forward and this is it right here, take that and breathe into that spot.
Yes, it's much better to have a little bit of movement forward than to have the rounding of the spine, and you'll really feel it in that hamstring and lower back.
So if we're toe touching challenge, we can do this. No, that's not what we're doing, okay? We want to feel that in that hamstring. That's why I get my arms up and I pivot. I hinge right at the hips. And today I'm feeling it really, really, really big time in this back side of my right hip. And so this is where I'm feeling juicy right now. So just breathe. Breathe into that spot. Exhale, 1%. Just get 1% more movement. Take another big breath in. Settle back in. Rest those hands on your shin. You don't want to press too much on your knee in this position because we don't want to create any damage. So stay above or below the knee. Arms up, arms out, wherever you feel comfortable. We're just breathing into our hamstring. All right, big breath. Back up. Now I'm going to try to do a kind of a sitting butterfly. So I don't know how you want to execute that, so to speak. Maybe a squat, maybe you sit. However you're feeling it, you let them know.
Okay, I'll listen to your cue and I'll see what feels right.
So I'm going to get myself positioned in front of my chair, and I'm just going to take my forearms on the inside of my knees. I'm sitting tall, back is straight, and I'm just getting a little push. Just a little outward with your arms and a little inward with your knees. So you want to draw your knees in while you're pushing out with your arms. There's a really clever phrase for this. Energetically, yeah, that's it. Energetically pressing in and out at the same time. And just like I'm sitting right here, if I don't quote unquote feel anything, the muscles are working, the blood is flowing, and the nerves are awakening. And if you find yourself upright and you're just like, I feel like I got a little more in me, gently, you can turn, bring your palms down, pressing out more, keeping that back straight, hinging at the hips, and just lean forward. Woo! Stay here and breathe into this. If it gets a little bit too much, just back up, back out of it just a little bit. Find that breath. Connect to that exhale and lean into it just a little bit. One more time. This feels really good, doesn't it? Big breath in. Exhale, leaning forward. If you can't lean forward, that's perfect. Get a little out press with the arms, a little in press with the knees, and I can feel that just like this. Exhale and relax. So now the next thing I want to do is just right leg over your left. And we're just going to stretch kind of that meaty part of that glute, the very high side of the hamstring. So same thing, get where you're comfortable. And if you happen to not have legs, or you have something that is inhibiting you from getting that right leg over your left, I've learned through various mediums, picture it. Picture that leg going over, slide that leg over, or slide that leg out. Get your breath, arms tall, hinge at the hips, and lean forward. This one we're gonna want to round. Concentrate on keeping that back straight. Maybe you even undergrab just to keep the back straight, and then lean into it.
If you're standing with me, then this is a balance pose. So bring that foot, same way that Sam said, hands to heart center, elbows can find the ankle and knee, and continue with the breath. I think in either regard, finding a focal point is really important in our practice. It can help us to concentrate and really dig into that breath. But also on the balance poses, it helps us to find our reference point and really ground ourselves, helping with our stability.
Find your natural breath. Coming upright. Ease that right leg down. Never hesitate to shake it out. Get your reset in between. That's okay. Then we're going to take that left leg, do the same thing over the right. Get the big breath. Find your spine sitting tall, leaning forward. And I'm having good luck today with just a very, very, very soft undergrab, and I'm not pulling myself down. All I'm doing is bracing for a lean. And I can definitely feel the difference in my right and left sides. I'm gonna tell you why right quick. I fell asleep last night on the couch watching one of the greatest podcasts in the world. I don't know how to tag stuff yet, so I'm gonna keep his name out, but there's a phenomenal podcast with phenomenal guests. But back to it, how important our sleep is, how important our sleep position is. Don't fall asleep on the couch in a cattywampus position, because your next day, you're not gonna wanna get out of bed. I did not wanna move today, but I got up, got myself moving, I got some ideas, and now we're doing toe touching challenges. So now we've got both legs, right leg, left leg. We've crossed and got our glutes. We've pressed out our groin with the butterfly. Essentially, we could call this the flow, and we could go back through that again. So what we'll do, get yourself positioned, get those legs out in front of you, and this is where we get to check back in. Big breath in, exhale, hinge at the hips. Where were you from 10 minutes ago? I'm in a whole different space. My hamstrings are in a whole different space. What about you?
Yes, definitely.
So it doesn't take much. Sit with yourself, find your breath. I'm gonna bring my right leg in. I'm just gonna continue the flow, stretching into the left leg, feeling the difference. And what you might notice is once you kind of free up, so to speak, your hamstring, you might feel it in your calf. Point your toes up and ease into that calf muscle. Just breathe into it. Because as we lengthen and we stretch, we're gaining movement throughout the whole extremity. Go ahead and switch over to that right leg. Oh, I'm feeling easy, feeling some movement. The right leg, both legs feel totally different. But I've got some damage in my right hip, so I try not to favor it, but I have to do what I have to do. So bring it up from your right leg. We're gonna go to that butterfly. Oh, you can feel the difference here. Find about 3 rounds of breath. If it feels juicy and it's not hurting, don't hesitate to press into it. We just don't want to press too hard and strain or stretch something, but you know where your limit is. If it feels good, breathe into it. If you get too far, you go, woo, just back out. Find that breath, and you're right back in it. Exhale one more time. Good and juicy butterfly. Inhale it back up. Legs together. Get a little walk out. And we're going right over left. Sitting tall, just to show you don't have to get your arms up every time. But you can sit tall and lean forward. Concentrate on keeping your ankle or your foot at a 90 on your shin. You can roll it and work it out, but we don't want to press or pull on it because we're going to end up straining something somewhere else. And we don't want to do that. But if you lean into that, breathe into that glute. I don't think I'm ready to sprint today, but I sure feel like I'm about limber enough to. One more inhale. Exhale into that right side glute. Kind of feel it in that hip joint. And get just a tiny sway to kind of roll around that joint. And back up. Shake it out. Cross that left one over that right one. Find the breath. Always find that breath, because if we don't find the breath, we start rushing. And if we start rushing things, 1, we're not aware, 2, we're not doing the work, and 3, we're probably wasting our own time. So get that breath, get that posture.
This is where if you're balancing, you can use your partner. Even one little finger helps to recenter, find the balance, connect with the breath.
All right, find your way back to center. Sit tall, roll those shoulder blades onto your back. Let those collarbones smile. Lead from the heart. Breathe into that heart space. Thank yourself for showing up for day 1 of the Toe Touch Challenge. And if we ain't got no toes, we're still leaning into it. Hands up tall, big breath in. Passing through the third eye. Bringing those thumbs to your chest, pressing in. Breathing into that heart space. We'll just give a little nod to the practice, and we'll say namaste. Please check out the videos on Sammy's Yoga Sesh YouTube channel. Check out Crystal at Twisted Bliss Holistic Health. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to hit the email or contact button. Lots of things are going to spawn from this, but let's just get our mobility down. Let's just get some movement, and let's see how good we can feel when we can really touch our toes. Thank you. See you next time.